This is it. This is the 450th Daphne sequel. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow. 450 Daphne sequels. And the countdown and the counts simply contributed and directly towards it just continually clambers upwards. Simply speaking of which, 450 Daphne sequels. Woo-wee! Ah, yes. 450 Daphne sequels for sure, So anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for your overwhelmingly large support, as usual, whenever it's represented towards my beautiful Daphne herself, or our beautiful Daphne, that is. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough from the bottom and the deepest soul depth of my heart. I couldn't thank each and every one of you enough for it, and things, and all the rest of it. She is our Maine beauty within the YouTubing community, our Daphne, as I've certainly got to say on that very noting and all that. And all, what was I going to share? If I may so share, well, Daphne's been on the internet for a long time now. To come to think of it, it's been, gosh, a good 3 years since we got her back in 2021, because Daphne was born on the 31st of March 2021, and Nixie was born on the 16th of April 2021. So there's, what, a nearly 3-week age gap, or just over 2-week age gap between the two of them, to tell oneself odd things. Nearly 2.5-week age gap between the two of them. And, but Daphne's older than Nixie, to tell oneself odd things. Oh, sorry everybody, something got a little bit too much from the hair at the back, something got a little bit uneven, but no, really, I can't thank you enough, and I cannot be more thankful to Daphne. Can I tell oneself why? Because through Daphne, I eventually found out about my now best friend, David Scott. And if one would want to know how I met David through Daphne, well, it's because of the Daphne videography content I'd been making. You're going back to July of 2021. Daphne was just a mere little kitten back then. I'd taken a video of her, and then I got the comment from David, and he said, "Such a lovely little cat." 1st of July 2021 this was. It's a day I'm never going to forget. And then I eventually heard from David almost on a near regularly done basis from time to time for whenever he had commented on the Daphne content I had created and all that. So, well, so... And as time went on, I heard from David more. It was before we got Nixie, because we didn't get Nixie until August of 2021. And then within just 24 days later, David and I, we both met for the first time. And we met really because of namely through Daphne. And had it not been for Daphne, because of the video I'd made, had it not been for that video and the Daphne content I'd started making since we got her as a kitten, hence over 450 videos now, David and I, we would never have met. I mean, I can't be more thankful to my beautiful Maine Coon beauty, Daphne. If it wasn't for her, David and I, we would never have become associated or acquainted with one another. And little did I realise that since getting Daphne, my life was going to change for the better and for the most wonderful. Was because little did I realise that later on, the Daphne content I started making since we acquired her as a kitten, acquiring possessive ownership of her, it would lead to me eventually becoming associated directly towards David Scott, my best friend, and of course, when becoming associated with David Scott, it would start with then him introducing me to several events he was completely remotely familiar of, which I had never known of at the time, but now know of quite well, and can now tell other people about it for those who are not familiar of it, you know. So I can't thank Daphne enough, and had it not been for Daphne, I never would have met David, and had it not been for David, the events I attended have proven instrumentally useful in helping me with overcoming the loss of my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, just the year prior, before we got Daphne, and other troubles I was facing at the time, until I met David. And over time, it didn't happen straight away, but over time, the more I attended these events, being that the ones I'd not attended before for the first time, and the more I did it over again, reprising my presence on subsequent ones, it's been a truly it really did help me eventually get back up on the horse and find a good new way of happiness in life. Daphne, she's really brought out the best in not only myself but my family. Not only for making my family happy, me and my family happy, but, making other people globally, worldwide, within the internet side of things happy. Because cat videos are a niche to some extent, or to a reasonably varied extent, cat content is very popular, or a fairly popular niche within the YouTubing community or any internet-sided community. People love videos of cats. People love cats, be it videos of them or just seeing them in real life. People love cats. As I've so come to realise, this could explain why sometimes my viewership can go up a little more quickly than, or higher than I could possibly anticipate, because of some of it is purely behind certain Daphne and Nixie content. From time to time, the Daphne and Nixie content I sometimes provide, sometimes I can get about 100 views in less than a week, or sometimes several hundreds, or at least in the 50s to 60s, 70s, in about a week, or in far less, or in a far shorter, less space of a week, and all that, to explain things. So, not only would Daphne unknowingly change my life for the future, for the happiest and for the most wondrous of reasons, but it would eventually change the face of my content, and I didn't think this would happen, but it did. Something proved me wrong. In the same way that the event attending David introduced me to would change the face of my content, and of course help me overcome a loss that really hit hard myself and my family, having said before, regarding the loss of Edmund, that is, which really particularly devastated myself and the family, but worst hard hit my grandmother Anne, but, helping me find a great path to newfound happiness, so that's why there's a lot to be thankful towards Daphne. But, You know, I didn't mean to make anybody emotional or anything. Even it can make me emotional at times, you know. If it wasn't for Daphne, if it really wasn't for her, you know, I'm the happiest I've been since before my grandfather sadly died. I'm the happiest I've been for over 5 years. So, thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Daphne, and also thank you, David, too. And all that. You know, I mean, I didn't mean to cry. I mean, I really didn't, you know, get emotional or anything, you know. We should be happy and celebrate for the Daphne sequel, shouldn't we? And not cry in tears. I mean, I never meant any of this, really. I certainly did not, you know. But, we're not too far, on a happy note, not too far from 500 Daphne sequels. And do I believe that 500 Daphne sequels is achievable before 2025? I certainly think so. And, but when it comes to, say, 1,000 Daphne sequels, I don't know when this will be achievable by, but let's hope 1,000 Daphne sequels by 2030 will be achievable. Because it could take time to reach 1,000 Daphne sequels. I'm obviously not gonna achieve 1,000 by the end of 2025. No, certainly not. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be long before the end of 2025 to reach 1,000 Daphne sequels. But I have every positive hope and faith that we'll achieve 1,000 Daphne videos by either 2030 or before, possibly 2028 or 2029. And I truly believe Daphne will still be alive in 2028, 2029, because she was only born in 2021, to tell you all things, as was Nixie too. But obviously, you just don't know how long your pets are going to last, do you? Despite a relatively high life expectancy among cats, which is about, dependent on the breed, it's around about 12 to 20 odd years for a cat, because 20 is the equivalent of 96, 20 years for a cat is the equivalent of 96 in human years, 21 it's 100, 22 104, 23 108, 24 112, 25 116. So if Daphne, say, lived to be 20, she would have lived to be 96 in human years. Or 25, she would have lived to be, if she lived to be 25, she would have lived to be 116 in human years. So Daphne could well live on to about 20. It's possible, but she may not. Got to see. We've certainly got to see. But yes, this is it. This is the 450th Daphne sequels, and I do have a playlist folder which shows all the Daphne videos I have done to tell oneself of things, and certainly, is it without further ado, let's see the Daphne sequel itself rolling into action.
Honestly, 450 Daphne sequels, I couldn't thank you enough for all the overwhelmingly large majority of support you provide towards my Maine Coon beauty. Thank you always, thank you. But lastly, without further ado, and before this, the very concluded ending point of this very video, this video is dedicated honorarily to David Scott, Dave Bryan, Mary and Gren Ipock, Graham and Fiona Hesketh, Michelle and the Michelle, that's the one not only do I love her so much, but everybody within Graham and Fiona's community, and even Graham and Fiona, all of us in their community love Michelle. I mean, who couldn't love her? Just a truly, truly wonderful, delightful lady. And who once said something to me that was very personal, and that really moved me very visibly, emotionally visibly, having said before. So, and she loves cats, to tell oneself of things, as she always does say to me from time to time, sending my best wishes sometimes to me, and she also sends it to my mother, Naomi, and of course her best wishes to my cats. I think she had a cat at one point, but I think her cat died. I don't know when this happened, but it would have been obviously a long time before 2023, which was when I first became familiar with her, and that was when we first became friends back in 2023. So it would have been a long time before that point, but I think she misses her cat terribly. Poor lady, poor Michelle. We do wish our cats could live forever, but sadly they cannot. It's just not the way it works. Temporary vessels are human and animals' bodies to tell oneself on things. But Dave, Mary, Glenn, Graham, Fiona, Michelle, Sandra, let's include Sandra, Joy and Andy, and everybody who just chucks and throws, and always chucks and starts throwing your support. The moment you start throwing your support in the chucked directive towards Daphne herself, I cannot thank all of you enough, particularly Dave, Mary and Glenn, Graham and Fiona, Michelle, Sandra, Joy and Andy, and everybody else. I cannot thank all of you enough for all the
enormously valuable support towards the Daphne content I make. Thank you, all of you, and everybody else. Thank you. Thank you always. And let's achieve 500 Daphne videos by the start of 2025, or before the end of 2024, before the starting 2025 proceedings. Let's do so. Thanks everybody, all indeed, for watching. And here is to 500 Daphne videos before 2025, and here is right now 450 Daphne sequels. Round of applause for the achievement. Thank you all for watching. Ta-ta, another time. Good night, and may your God go with you. Do take care and stay safe, everybody. Goodbye, and may your good wishes be bringing you great expectations of happiness. Ow. Aches and pains, not fun. Ouch. Ta-ta for now, goodbye. And thank you for 450 Daphne sequels with much unconditional love and overwhelmingly large majority of tremendously wonderful support.